Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the Africa Independent Television. Welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa, where we bring you all information you need to know about security. Security is the paramount for every living human being. And even these days, in some areas, they have to protect the dead bodies. It has to, from being stolen or being balkanized, really. So security is very, very essential at all time. Welcome to your program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambo. It's only on this station you get this valuable information. Yes, I will be looking at the topic security in Nigeria, solving insecurity through technology, and with particular reference to cyber security. I have two very eloquent and knowledgeable personality already in the studio with me to be looking at this topic. But that will be after the reports which we have. But first and foremost, I must acknowledge that those 17 Nigerian Army officers that were killed in Okwama in Delta State was a sad commentary of what Nigeria is experiencing currently, and they were buried on Wednesday. May their soul rest in perfect peace. And 8 persons have been identified and declared wanted for their various roles. Somebody was asking me, what has a traditional ruler got to do? What has a professor got to do? What has a woman got to do? But for your information, the body parts of these officers were found in so many areas and so many homes in that community, showing that they were culpable and they knew what actually happened. And some indirectly and remotely encouraged the killing and the dismembering of these officers. So if you have any information, you are please encouraged to pass it to the law enforcement agency. And if already one of them has reported himself and is going through interrogation as we speak, and I know that justice will be done and fairness will also be considered, and innocent people will not be victimized. Yes, let's go to our first report for today, which is coming from, sadly, the burial of those 17 officers in Abuja. Shuli Daniels puts the reports together.
Even with the sun still shining and different shades of colors around, the atmosphere here at the National Military Cemetery, Abuja, is sober. Family members, friends, and colleagues of 4 officers and 13 soldiers of the Nigerian Army who were killed while on peace mission in Okwama community in Delta State are wailing and in sad mood. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, led other mourners to say farewell to these 17 Nigerian Army officers. The arrival of President Tinubu signaled the commencement of the formal burial ceremony, which was followed with some officers who served as bearers marching in with 17 caskets bearing the remains of their colleagues who were murdered. After different faith leaders offered prayers for the peaceful repose of the deceased officers, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, gave his remarks, which includes the state of the remains of the late officers.
It is no longer news that 17 of the Nigerian Army's finest men, whom we have come to bury, were murdered in a reprehensible manner on the 14th of March this year in Okwama community in Delta State, while they went on a legitimate peacemaking mission. It grieves my heart that it took our search and recovery effort over 72 hours to recover some vital organs of the decapitated and disemboweled bodies of my men that were scattered all over the Okwama community by the community youths and their friends. I consider it the most barbaric act any citizen or community can commit against the authority of the state. And I must place on record that a lot of restraints have been exercised so far in our search and recovery efforts for missing arms, ammunition, other equipment, and body parts.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, in his own remarks, promised that the perpetrators of this heinous crime will not go unpunished.
Our resolve will not wither. We will hunt you down, we will bring you to justice, and we will restore peace and security to every nook and cranny of our dear nation. Your evil actions may cause pain and suffering, but they will never extinguish the spirit of unity and resilience that burns within us. Whoever is supporting them, either directly or indirectly, in every way, be rest assured, we will get them, we will smoke them out wherever they are, and those who are offering them any support will face the music. That we guarantee. Finally, let us once again pay tribute to the men and women who have given their lives in the service of our nation. May their souls find eternal rest, and may their families find comfort in the knowledge that their loved ones are heroes, forever remembered and cherished.
President Tinubu, while delivering his remarks, awarded national honors on the officers, among other promises.
The 4 gallant officers have been accorded the award of Members of the Order of Niger, MON. The 13 courageous soldiers who also lost their lives have been awarded the Officers of the Federal Republic Medal. I commiserate with the families of our fallen heroes and the entire armed forces. I share in their pain and grief, the grief you carry today. It is my prayer that God will comfort all who are bereaved as a result of this tragedy. It is worth restating the depth of gratitude we hold these valiant soldiers and families.
At the end of the president's remark, the bearer party lowered the caskets to the Mother Earth, which was followed with wreath laying and gun salutes.
Ibrahim Mustafa, the next of kin to late.
The murder of these 17 military officers is one act that has been condemned by all peace-loving Nigerians and should propel security forces and agencies to ensure that no stone is left unturned in warding off the society of all forms of criminalities. Shuli Daniels, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
May the soul of the departed officers rest in perfect peace. We need to go quickly because of what we have on our table this afternoon. Yes, we also will take you to the Defense Headquarters where Elizabeth Tanko brings us a report, part of the bi-weekly briefing of what the armed forces of Nigeria have been doing in the past 2 weeks. Sit back.
Following the gruesome murder of 17 army officers by some community members in Okwama, Delta State, the Nigerian Defense Headquarters has declared 8 persons wanted for their various roles in the incident. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made this declaration as part of the bi-weekly media briefing on the activities of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, AFN.
A banner for the wanted persons involved in the killing of the 17 soldiers that were buried yesterday is hereby released to the press. And we encourage citizens, particularly those in Delta State, to assist in the investigation by flushing these persons out.
General Buba also disclosed that troops of the AFN in various operations neutralized 212 terrorists, bandits, kidnappers and insurgents, arrested 252 suspects, rescued 244 kidnapped hostages, and 29 perpetrators of oil theft were also arrested.
Troops of Operation Hardin K neutralized 52 terrorists, arrested 137 of them, and rescued 78 kidnapped hostages. They recovered 3 M56 rifles, 40 AK-47 rifles, over 300 rounds of 7.62mm NATO ammunition, among others. The troops of Operation Safe Haven arrested 10 violent extremists during the week, and they rescued 1 kidnapped hostage. The troops also recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 PKT guns, 16 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among others. Troops conducted offensive operations in LMA local government area of Rivers State. Overall, the troops of Operation Delta Safe recovered over 900,000 liters of stolen crude oil during the week. They also recovered over 170,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, otherwise known as diesel, and 1,500 liters of PMS, otherwise known as petrol. The troops of Operation Udoka recorded the following during the week. The troops arrested violent extremists involved in kidnapping, and they had a female member of the gang who is a gun runner in Onitsha North, local government area of Anambra State, as well as in Nsukka and Onitsha South, local government areas of Enugu State. Additionally, troops raided a hideout of a violent extremist in Izi and South Ijo local government areas of Ebonyi and Bayelsa State, respectively.
The director used the briefing to remind citizens that they are the first line of intelligence.
Citizens are urged to remember that they are our first line of intelligence. Accordingly, we all have a collective responsibility of doing right.
Elizabeth Thanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. Yes, we'll go quickly to our topic and our discussion for today. The topic, like I said earlier, is security in Nigeria, solving insecurity through technology. I already have in the studio with me 2 knowledgeable persons, I must say, and I'm proud to have them in the studio. On my far left is Tunde Edward Tunde Williams, who is a cybersecurity expert. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you very
much. Close to me here, it's Anibe Abba. He's a cybersecurity analyst. Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. Yes, let me start with you, Edward. Tell us, I'm a layman. There are many of us who may not understand. What really is cybersecurity?
Yes, yes, of course. It's a very complex topic, cybersecurity. Well, cybersecurity is the protection of digital assets, like data, like documents, like videos, images, audios, from cybersecurity attacks. And when you say but right now the narrative has changed from cybersecurity to cyber resilience. which have to do with the preparedness of an organization to prepare for a cyber attack.
Being proactive now.
Yes, yes, being proactive, really. See how they can adapt, how they can defend, how they can respond, and how they can recover from a security attack.
Yeah, personally, I've attended some trainings on cybersecurity, and I can tell you that it's, like you said, it's quite vast and very, very important. And one of the things we always say that in the current warfare we fight in the world today, we have 5 warfare: land, sea, we have the land, and the cyber. Cyber has become the main destroying warfare, which some countries and some individuals still take for granted.
Yes.
But how dangerous it is if you leave, if you don't protect your cyberspace, if you don't take care of it?
Yes, well, we are going to, that come into the threat landscape, and based on various cybersecurity trends. We have different type of threats. We have denial of service. That means stopping an organization from doing its day-to-day business activities. And also we have financial losses that have to do with an attack called ransomware. And also we have data destruction, which have to do with more or less sabotage. And we have some other threats of social engineering, and also we have a form of threats called, or I would say, based on the AI and machine learning activities we know out there. So those are some of the
dangers.
The dangers.
But how do you think Nigeria, maybe as a country or organizations in Nigeria, really need to protect their cyberspace?
Of course, protecting cyberspace is not something that we should debate at this point in time. You understand? Technology has advanced in a very little time, and in this space of time, we are beginning to use a lot more tools that require this technology. I mean, you look into Internet of Things and the likes. When all the appliances in your organizations or your devices in your organization are connected together and they can relate with each other, it goes a long way to tell us that we should be scared of what can happen, because a lot of organizations are experiencing data breaches, and people are losing very critical data. Their critical infrastructure is on the line as well. So it's really important that we employ cybersecurity in the country.
Okay. Now, drawing from your international exposure and experience, I don't know, organizations in Nigeria we have hardware very critical and sensitive, not just security agencies, national infrastructures, their spaces, their data being with experience of glitches and some breaches on them. What do you think should be done to protect? You are an expert in this, and I know that your advice will not be for free, but I know that Nigeria and organizations can consult you to talk about it. But just tell us, what do you think? How can we start from? Where do we start from?
Yeah, having this experience from, my experience comes from the UK, the United States, and parts of the European Union. Having delivered cybersecurity services and consultancy in various sectors like nuclear, defense, and aviation, and finance, I would say one of the main factor is for organization in Nigeria to have a top management buy-in. By that, I mean is that we need to embed cybersecurity into strategic business and as a business enabler. Yes. And secondly, we need to incorporate cyber resilience, as I said earlier, into the business into the business needs, and also establishing and maintaining core security and fundamentals. Fundamentals, that means policies, governance, and also on the cyber operations, establishing and maintaining cyber operations, because it's one thing to establish it, but there's another thing to maintain it because of the evolving threats that we have out there. You need to be updated all the time, and that costs money. And there's been some cyber, let me say, inequality, especially in Nigeria, where we have the cyber haves and the cyber have-nots. And one of the some sectors, finance, I would say defense, and they are doing very well in cybersecurity. But we're talking about the optimization and the delivery on also being able to follow through on cybersecurity on their firms. Do they have the funds to continue? Because cybersecurity is always evolving in the area of awareness, in the area of investment. And once we have these factors, the cost of cybersecurity services also increases.
Yeah, but of course, well, I say the cost of not having cybersecurity could also be more costly, isn't it?
Yes. And let me finish about this gap between the have-nots and the haves. And the awareness is there, like 50%, but we have a situation where how to implement this cybersecurity is not there. You understand? And I have other experiences in dealing with SMEs, right? We have thousands of SMEs in Nigeria who are looking for these services, and we have various packages, right, that we can introduce to them, right? These are managed services, really, that will, I would say, they will be able to afford, really. Okay. And those are the kind of things I want to bring, experience that I've attained from the UK.
From the UK. Yeah. You're in Nigeria here. Tell me, he mentioned about the SMEs, which is they are the critical economic drivers of this country. How does an average SME how can you help them, and which area would you want them to come so you can work with them?
Well, like you said, we're making provisions for SMEs to be able to first off analyze, to make an assessment of their current establishment. You understand? So when they come to us, we can give them a free assessment, see their IT infrastructure, and then introduce a security posture that would help them bloom. You understand? So we've not had so much progress in getting to these people because a lot of them are scared of the cost, especially of cybersecurity. So, and besides that, the top management have not even bought into this.
But are there ways to mitigate or look at this issue about the costing now, because it's coming up?
Yes, that's why we're here to help them reduce the cost. You understand? So as opposed to housing whatever is going to take to make them cyber secured, we're going to help them manage these services.
Okay, these assets, okay, which is quite encouraging, really. You know, because most organizations loses hundreds and millions of naira or dollars through these breaches on their data. Some we've seen some documents being released from their system using their information without even the organization sanctioning it.
Let me say something about that. As you said, most organizations, especially in Africa, let me say Africa as a whole, right? These organizations are being breached, and information has been exfiltrated, and they don't know anything about that.
In fact, the studio are telling us we must leave. We're going to continue with this discussion any minute because it's quite very important for people to get protected also in the cyberspace. But other programs will have to continue. But it's really a pleasure having you, Edward, here in the studio, and Nibe. We're looking forward to having you as soon as possible again, whichever means we can have. But thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, viewers, sadly we have to leave. Time is always a problem. When we're on television, we don't have enough time to discuss. But if you have enjoyed watching us, you can follow us on all our social media platforms. Send us your views. You can contact Mr. Edward and his group through Security Watch Africa. We'll reach out to them so that information you need can be provided. Until next week, when we come your way, guys, say thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.